Coming up this morning on Chris 6 Sunrise, Corpus Christi moves closer to building its own desal plant. What it could mean for the city's water supply.
And President Trump is heading to Corpus Christi. Scripps News Group Joe St. George will join us with more on the president's first trip of the year to the Coastal Bend. Chris 6 Sunrise starts now.
Well, hey there, folks. Good Wednesday morning. You are watching Chris 6 Sunrise, and yet again, waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman, folks. We stayed up past our bedtime, so we're still waking up a little bit, but we want to help you get you going. So let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the weather and roads are doing today. How are you, Stephen?
Morning.
You know, not too bad. I think just a little bit sleepy too as we're starting off our day, but luckily the temperature's not too much to complain about. You know, we're waking up to the 60s out there. In fact, 62 degrees is what we're at here in Corpus Christi. Here's the live view from our USS Lexington cam, thanks to First Community Bank. Wind's still a little breezy out of the south, 13 miles an hour, at least in terms of 6 a.m. time frame for that. But as we go into the afternoon, gonna get even breezier out there. Not tracking any major slowdowns this morning so far, but tracking 50s and 60s across the board. 58 degrees in Alice, and we're matching that for Beeville this morning with Kingsville waking up to 60 degrees and a little bit warmer there. And Port Aransas coming in at 66 with a little bit stronger wind out of the south at 17 miles an hour. But all of us as we go into the afternoon, especially our coastal communities, going to see that wind pickups out of the south 20 to 25 miles an hour and those daytime highs back into the 80s. But like I said, not tracking any of those major slowdowns right now, just shaping up for a good and green Wednesday morning as we're heading out the door.
Stephen, thank you so much. Folks, we'll get to your neighborhood news in just a bit. But first, President Donald Trump delivered the longest State of the Union on record Tuesday night. Speaking for 1 hour and 48 minutes, Trump called his first year back in office a turnaround for the ages. He pointed to immigration enforcement, economic gains, and expanded tariffs as signs of progress. The speech drew frequent applause from Republicans. Some Democratic lawmakers shouted objections, though, during sections on immigration and government fraud. And President Trump honored a Coast Guard hero during last night's State of the Union. Petty Officer Scott Ruskin is a rescue swimmer at Coast Guard Air Station Corpus Christi. Last July 4th, Ruskin and his crew rescued more than 160 girls from Camp Mystic during catastrophic flooding.
It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class, and he lifted not just Billy Kate, but 164 others to safety.
Petty Officer Ruskin served as the helicopter swimmer on the ground. He enlisted in the U.S. Coast Guard in 2021. The Camp Mystic flooding was his first rescue mission.
So back here at home, Corpus Christi is just one step closer to having its own saltwater desalination plant. City Council approved a resolution authorizing contract negotiations for the Inner Harbor seawater desal plant. City will negotiate with Corpus Christi Desal Partners as a joint venture between Acciona Agua Corporation and Mastec Industrial Corporation. The city staff will now develop the design-build contract for Council's consideration in April. Nicholas Winkleman, that's a chief operating officer of Corpus Christi Water, calls it a, quote, significant step forward in securing long-term reliable water supply for our customers, end quote. The city already has approved permits, property agreements, power infrastructure, and low-interest loans in place for this project. And City Council also approved the groundwater rights purchase for the Lee Ranch property. The $38 million purchase is part of the Evangeline Groundwater Project. The ranch is located north of Sinton.
Corpus Christi City Council approved a construction contract for upgrades at Greenwood Sports Complex. Barkham Construction will handle the $7.1 million project, which aims to rejuvenate 3 sports fields. And those include the Westside Pony Baseball Field, Universal League Youth Baseball Field, and the Sparkling City Youth Softball Field. The project is funded through voter-approved bonds from 2018 through 2024, and construction starts next month and is expected to wrap up by August.
So we've got some good news for you, folks. Snoopy's on Sunset Island is set to reopen today. That's just days after a fire damaged multiple boats at the marina. According to their Facebook page, it will be the only spot on Sunset Island open while the fire investigation does continue. No injuries were reported in Monday's fire. Now officials are asking visitors to respect roped off areas and stay out of restricted zones while the investigation wraps up.
Just a reminder, folks, the early voting period for the primary election ends this Friday, February 27th. If you don't get a chance to cast an early ballot, you'll still get one more chance on primary election day. That's on Tuesday, March 3rd. Now, folks, for more information on the upcoming primary, scan the QR code on your screen, and that will take you to our Chris 6 Elections page.
Well, hey there, and happy Monday, Coastal, or happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. Geez, getting a look from our studio Skycam out there, you can see the Harbor Bridge and downtown in view. We're waking up to the 60s so far, about 62 degrees here in Corpus Christi under those clear skies, but winds out of the southeast are continuing to funnel in some moisture to the area. That's helping keep us just a little bit warmer as we're heading through these overnight hours, and really through most of the month we have been well above average. Now as we're getting closer to the end of it, only to Saturday we have till the end of the month now, and most of it has been in the red, and it looks like we're going to finish out the month in the red as we're heading through those daytime highs for us. And in terms of rain, a little bit less than average. Now February is our driest month on average across the coastal bend, but 0.05 of an inch over at the airport so far for this month of February, still even behind average in terms of that, about an inch and a half behind our average for February. For our temperatures out there, like I said, 50s and 60s is what we're waking up to. About 66 degrees in Port Aransas right now, 60 for Robstown and Kingsville. 57 is what you're waking up to off to the west in Freer and Hebronville so far this morning. But as we're waking up and getting ready for that school day forecast, you can see how we're on the rise in our temperatures. 61 for that 7 a.m. drop off, but up to 85 degrees as we're heading into later this afternoon, even topping out at 88 here in Corpus Christi, I think. And then as you work your way inland, a few of those 90s making their return to the board. Freer, Hebronville, Falfurrias, even Alice and Kingsville looking at those 90s trying to sneak in. Here along the coast, though, closer to Corpus Christi, 88 degrees, and then as you work your way along the island, 80 for Port Aransas, 82 over there by the Naval Air Station, so a little bit cooler along the coast. In terms of our winds, once again, they are going to increase into the afternoon. Those wind gusts are likely to push upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour into the later morning hours, and kind of on and off as we're heading through the afternoon, so pretty similar to what we saw yesterday. Just getting ready for another windy day across the coastal bend, and that's going to lead to a wind advisory mainly for our coastal communities as we're heading through the day. This is going to be from 9 a.m. through 6 p.m. Gusts could be as high as 40 miles an hour out there out of the south, and with how dry everything is right now, just want to keep that in mind. Going to increase our fire danger, but you're going to notice it while you're driving around and could blow around some loose objects out there as well. But also in terms of our fire danger, we have an official red flag warning in effect off to the south towards Brooks and inland Kennedy counties for us there. This includes Falfurrias through about 6 p.m. so just to be mindful of that, but really elevated fire danger is encompassing the coastal bend, so if you don't have to do any outdoor burning, just don't do it as we're heading into today. For the rest of our 7-day forecast, plenty of sunshine, but tomorrow's cold front cools us back into the lower 80s as we close out February there on Saturday and hold those 80s as we get ready to enter the first week of March there on Monday.
We now have official confirmation President Trump is coming to Corpus Christi. Coming up on Sunrise, Scripps News Group's Joe St. George has more on why he's choosing our city as one of his first stops after the State of the Union. Welcome back, folks. Well, it is official. We've gotten confirmation President Trump is heading to Corpus Christi.
Yeah, pretty big deal, too. It will be one of his first major stops following last night's State of the Union address. To talk more about his visit, we bring in our Deputy Political Director, Joe St. George. So good morning, Joe. What do we know about why the president is choosing Corpus Christi for one of his first post-State of the Union stops, and what can our viewers expect from his visit?
Well, good morning. The president delivering the longest State of the Union address in modern American history last night, an hour 47, hour 48. And now he prepares to take his message on the road. No surprise, one of the first stops the president is making following his address on Tuesday night is the state of Texas. I mean, Texas is the epicenter of American politics. This visit to Corpus Christi coming at a time in which Everyone's wondering, will the president endorse? Will he actually say either Ken Paxton's name or John Cornyn's name or Hunt's name? I mean, who does he endorse in this highly competitive Republican primary? I think the odds of a runoff here are extremely high, but the president's endorsement, if he chooses to get in the fray, is likely going to have a huge impact here. He may wait for a possible runoff, but it's something that we're all watching very carefully. Democrats feel like maybe if a Paxton wins the primary, Democrats feel maybe they have a better shot of potentially flipping Texas in November. I still think it's certainly a tall task given Texas's conservative history, but Democrats are looking at the polls and they're thinking maybe this could be the year, 2026 could be the year that a senator from Texas is a Democrat. Republicans thinking the exact opposite. Eager to have the president back in Texas to talk about many of the things that he mentioned in his State of the Union address last week. We're expecting him to talk about energy and the economy when he visits Corpus Christi. The president last night again said that Venezuela opens more energy, oil opportunities for the U.S. How does that impact Corpus Christi, the ports in Corpus Christi, the energy industry? And on the economy, which the president made a cornerstone of his State of the Union address, expect to hear more from the president on housing. What did he talk about last night? He wants Congress to ban large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. Data centers, a big issue in Texas. He wants tech companies to pay more of the electricity costs so that people's utility bills don't go up in communities where more data centers are popping up. These are messages that we expect the president to reiterate again when he visits Texas a little bit later this week. Guys, it's pretty common that once the president delivers a State of the Union address that he goes on the road, usually to the places that really matter. And you don't need me to tell you this. Texas, Corpus Christi really matters politically here in 2026.
Yeah, we kind of hope he also takes a look at our water situation too.
Yeah, no, that's a dire situation here. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time today, Joe. We look forward to talking again very soon.
Well, howdy and happy Wednesday. Coastal Bend taking a live view from our USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank. We've got the Texas State Aquarium and the Harbor Bridge both nice and lit up for our Wednesday morning. Temperatures sitting at 62 degrees and winds are out of the south about 13 miles an hour right now, but they are going to be on the increase as we're heading into the later morning and afternoon hours. But let's start off with a look back at the past 10 hours. You can see been a slow cool down through those 60s, 65 by 1 a.m. and only down to about 62 degrees right now. We'll see if we can drop another degree or two before sunrise or so, but nonetheless, all of us are waking up to the 50s and 60s. 58 for Mathis and San Diego, 59 out there in Beeville, and Corpus Christi 62 degrees. Port Aransas coming in at 66 degrees, just a little warmer there. With a closer look now with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network out there on Flower Bluff, sitting at 65 degrees there at the Shell Station and 60 up there by Graham Road. So a fair spread of those temperatures over there on Flower Bluff. But as we work our way a little bit further inland, Beeville coming a little bit closer with 59 and 60 degrees from our reporting stations out there in Bee County. So not too bad as we're waking up for our morning. Still probably jacket worthy as we're starting our day. But as we're heading into the afternoon, gonna see that warm up. 77 by 11 a.m. into the 80s this afternoon, and I think we top out 88 degrees here in Corpus Christi, but we're also going to notice that wind out of the south, 20 to 25 miles an hour. Gusts are going to get a little bit higher, but first let's talk about those daytime highs. We're going to see the 90s make their return to the board today. It looks like mainly for our inland communities, Robstown, Kingsville, and down to the south towards Falfurrias and Hebronville. Looking at those lower 90s for daytime highs, like I talked about, 88 here in Corpus Christi, and as you work closer to the coast, a little bit more mitigated there. 80 degrees for Port Aransas, 82 for the Naval Air Station for that daytime high. As we're looking through the rest of the day for those winds, though, they pick up once again 30 to 35 miles an hour as we're heading through the later morning hours. This is going to stay with us on and off as we're heading through the rest of our Wednesday and into the evening, but the good news is as we head into tonight and tomorrow should come closer to normal, that more 10 to 20 mile an hour range for us. In turn, though, we're going to see that wind advisory in effect today from 9 a.m. through 6 p.m., so keep that in mind, and with how dry everything is out there, we also do have an official red flag warning in effect for some of our southern communities right now, mainly Brooks County and inland portions of Kennedy County. That's going to be through 6 p.m. this evening, but for all of the coastal bend, I should say, we're going to have that elevated fire danger. And if you don't have to do any outdoor burning, don't do it, because with the windy conditions today, anything that does ignite will spread quickly if it does. For our current 7-day forecast, we're on the warm up with potentially record-breaking heat by tomorrow, 93 degrees with our current record standing at 89. Either way, through the rest of the week, that cold front works in tomorrow night, puts us back into the lower 80s as we get ready to close out February and welcome in March heading into this weekend.
A VA rule change sparked outrage nationwide, and even though enforcement is on hold, veterans say the fight isn't finished. Coming up on Sunrise, I'll show you why locals are still demanding action.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
VA disability ratings have been at the center of a national debate. A rule change sparked immediate backlash from veterans even after the VA announced it would halt enforcement. And that's why vets here at home are saying they want the conversation to continue. So here's a quick recap of what happened. Last Tuesday, I told you how the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs rolled out a new rule that would have changed how some disability ratings are calculated. The key change? The VA would consider how much a veteran's condition improves with medication when determining their disability rating. Veterans across the country, including here at home, pushed back, and they said the rule could reduce monthly compensation for millions of veterans living with service-related conditions, arguing that relief from medication does not erase the underlying injury. Now, within days, the VA announced that it would halt enforcement of the rule. In a social media post, VA Secretary Doug Collins said, quote, "While the VA does not agree with the way this rule has been characterized, the department always takes veterans' concerns seriously." He added the rule will not be enforced at any time in the future. But here's where the conversation continues. Halting enforcement is not the same as withdrawing the rule, and that's according to local veteran advocacy group Burn Pits 360. They say the policy still exists on paper and could be revisited or modified later. So they're calling on the VA to formally withdraw the interim final rule, and if changes are still being considered, to start over through a full notice and comment process. And that would mean public input from veterans, medical professionals, and advocacy groups before any final decision is made. Veterans are now encouraging others to submit public comment before the April 30th deadline. Meanwhile, I'll make sure we keep following up and asking questions about what this means for veterans and how it could potentially impact benefits.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend, taking a live view from our USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank. Sitting at 62 degrees here in Corpus Christi, winds out of the south 13 miles an hour, but not tracking any of those major slowdowns there on the New Harbor Bridge or on SPID, just tracking some of those 50s and 60s for temperatures so far. Winds are out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour as we're waking up this morning, but as we're heading into the later morning hours and into the afternoon, those are going to increase quite a bit, 20 to 25 miles an hour with gusts upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. Expecting our daytime high about 88 degrees here in Corpus Christi, but for inland neighborhoods towards Kingsville and off towards Hebbronville, likely to see those 90s later this afternoon. Our current traffic flow looking good in green to and from Portland this morning if you're planning on heading out on the New Harbor Bridge. And for our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, no major slowdowns, just a minor one there on Saratoga getting close to Airline. Other than that, setting up for a good and green Wednesday morning as we're heading out the door. Well, howdy and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our studio Skycam, you can see some glimpses of the sunrise getting ready to come up, the Harbor Bridge and downtown in view, and we're waking up to 62 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Winds out of the south 13 miles an hour, but those are going to come up once again as we're heading into the afternoon. Now let's take a look at these shots here over from Rockport. Thank you to Susan Ernst for sending these photos in. Got some blue bonnets popping up in the backyard. It looks like even got the close-up shot there working into the area, maybe some indications of an early spring trying to work into the Coastal Bend. Either way, if you get good shots like this, sunrises, sunsets, go ahead and send them into our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group. We'd absolutely love to see them in there. Temperatures we're waking up to this morning is 50s and 60s out there. 66 degrees for Port Aransas, waking up to 59 in Robstown, but out to the west, San Diego coming in at 58 degrees. Freer and Hebbronville both coming in at 57 so far this morning. But as we're planning out the next few hours, course, if you're getting ready for that dog walk this morning, today we've got Otis Summers on the board, ready for his walk over there by Cole Park, and looking like he's definitely ready for it with that sunshine there, and temperatures are going to be on the rise. 73 degrees by 10 a.m. up to 80 degrees as we're heading in towards that noon hour later. But you're also going to notice those winds picking up into the later morning hours. That's going to be 20 to 25 miles an hour as we head in towards that lunchtime time frame. Going to pick up even more as we head into the later portions of the afternoon. Forecast high here in Corpus Christi is looking at 88 degrees for that daytime high today. Lows tonight once again in the 60s, about 63 degrees under those clear skies, and still a little breezy out there, but it's coming down luckily as we head into tonight, and more normal tomorrow about that 10 to 20 mile an hour mark, but going to get hot out there. Looking at the 90s returning to Corpus Christi, and potentially record-breaking heat with our current record standing at 89 degrees from 2024, so we'll see if we break it as we go into tomorrow. Either way, for today, we're going to see those gusty winds 30 to 35 miles an hour already as we're heading through the mid to late morning hours. It's going to be on and off as we're heading through our afternoon, so probably going to notice it as you're driving around, or if it's your trash day, blow that trash can around just a little bit. This is going to result in a wind advisory in effect for our coastal neighborhoods from 9 a.m. through 6 p.m. today, and just keep in mind, yeah, it's going to be windy out there. Could see some small tree limbs even breaking out there with the winds closer to the coast, and with how dry everything is, at least in terms of our inland neighborhoods, fire danger going to be on the rise. You can see how our relative humidity goes down to the 20s and the teens as we head into this afternoon. That's because of the temperatures on the rise, and once again, the same thing happens as we're heading into tomorrow, and the unfortunate part of it is we're going to hold on to some moderate and high fire danger as we're heading into today and tomorrow, with that high fire danger really returning as we head into tomorrow. So heading through this final week of February, just keep in mind everything is very dry. Don't want to do any outdoor burning if you don't have to out there. Things are going to get hot tomorrow, but luckily, a cold front does work in, brings us closer to average, but things are still going to remain in the red, it looks like, as we stay closer to the 80s as we're getting ready to welcome in March. So here's how it's all shaking up on the current 7-day forecast. The heat as we go into today and tomorrow, then we get that cold front, luckily, after we hit 93 degrees tomorrow, only chasing those lower 80s as we head into Friday and the weekend. Overnight lows don't take too much of a dip, settling out in those 60s as we get ready to welcome in March by Sunday.
A Corpus Christi man is keeping his family's legacy alive one plate at a time. Coming up on Sunrise, his story of soul food, history, and resilience. Welcome back, folks. So during Black History Month, we reflect on the people and legacies that helped shape the Coastal Bend. African Americans make up just about 4% of the local population, but their contributions to our culture, businesses, and history run deep. For James Kitchen, that legacy lives on through food.
You know, it's my other staple.
For James Kitchen, cooking started at home. In the kitchen beside his parents, learning recipes, watching techniques, and understanding that food was more than just a meal. It was connection.
Well, I go, then you go. I grew up cooking, and I have a family history of cooking.
That foundation eventually became Big Kitchen Foods, a name chosen to honor his late father. Kitchen says his influence is still present in every dish he prepares.
He has passed, but his legacy, I mean, it still lives on, and in my cooking and in my company.
But his family roots in Corpus Christi stretch back even further. His grandmother was part of a generation that lived through segregation in South Texas, navigating barriers while building community, faith, and family. Those experiences shaped the values passed down to him.
You know, it's community and it's culture.
Soul food itself carries that same history, born out of hardship during slavery and segregation, becoming a symbol of resilience and strength.
Just tear off
a piece and dip.
Yeah, go for it.
In the Coastal Bend, continuing that tradition while incorporating local staples carries meaning.
That is good.
Kitchen says at its core, it's simple.
Cheers, my friend.
It's love.
Love, a 4-letter word. That combined with perseverance, that's what pulled his family through eras of segregation and discrimination right here in Corpus Christi. I asked him what it feels like to reflect on that contrast from what previous generations endured to where he stands today.
How does it make you feel seeing the difference and hearing about the differences that your family members had to go through as times were changing, as we were going through the civil rights movement, some that went through segregation?
Sadness.
Sadness for the injustice that they faced, but also recognition that there is progress.
Everything that we have accomplished in spite of, I have no reason not to strive.
And speaking of in spite of, Kitchen recently lost his food truck due to a crash, but is still providing catering for the Coastal Bend with his unique style of soul food in hopes of opening his own restaurant soon. But Kitchen says that his goal isn't just to grow a business or even to feed his neighbors. It's honoring the generations before him while creating opportunities for the next. And during Black History Month, his story is just one reminder that history isn't just something we read. It's something that's still being built right here in the Coastal Bend.
Well, hey there and happy Wednesday. Coastal Bend taking a live view from our Snoopy Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. Getting some glimpses of the sunrise on the way, just about 20 more minutes away now, but sitting in the 60s, about 65 degrees over here by Snoopy's. Winds out of the south 17 miles an hour, and those are only going to come up as we're heading into the later morning hours and to the afternoon. Here's how our temperatures are rounding out so far this morning. 58 out there in Alice, 56 degrees for Hebbronville, but you work your way along the coast a little bit warmer, 66 for Port Aransas, 65 out there in Rockport, and winds across the board out of the south about 5 to 10 miles an hour for most, upwards of 15 miles an hour as you work closer to the coast. Our dew points have been on the rise. We've had this southerly flow since the past couple of days, and dew points are now into the 50s and 60s, but with our temperatures on the rise this afternoon, it's not going to be quite enough, and our relative humidity values are going to drop pretty dramatically this afternoon, unfortunately resulting in that higher fire danger. So if you don't have to do any outdoor burning, still don't do it as we head into today. But either way, as we plan through the rest of the day, windy conditions make their return, 20 to 25 miles an hour now. That's the sustained wind. We're going to have that around as we hit the daytime high about 88 degrees here in Corpus Christi, and even gusts upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. Now as we head into tomorrow, could even be some record-breaking heat. I'm calling for about 93 degrees, but luckily we have our next cold front on the way. Cools us off a little bit as we're heading into the weekend. Of course, I'll break it all down and our precipitation chances coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Coming up this morning on Chris 6 Sunrise, Corpus Christi moves ever closer to building its own desal plant. What it could mean for the city's water supply.
And a popular Corpus Christi waterfront spot reopens today after a marina fire. What you need to know before you go.
On the island, one woman is turning heads for Barefoot Mardi Gras. I'm Jada Jenkins with her collection.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey folks, thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of non-stop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, you just saw we have plenty of neighborhood news for you this morning. But first, we got to check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the roads and weather is looking today. Good morning.
Morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, not looking too bad as we're heading into today. Pretty similar to what we saw yesterday out there. We're waking up to the 50s and 60s this Wednesday morning. About 62 degrees right now here in Corpus Christi. Here's a live view from that USS Lexington cam thanks to First Community Bank. Wind still out of the south about 13 miles an hour, but we've got the Harbor Bridge in view there and not tracking any of those major slowdowns right now, but still probably jacket worthy as we're heading out the door. If you're waking up inland towards Kingsville, waking up to about 60 degrees, Hebbronville coming in at 56, and Beeville they're sitting at 57 so far this morning. Winds for all of us are out of the south, roughly 5 to 10 miles an hour, with a couple of us getting up closer to 15 miles an hour, but nonetheless, as we go through the rest of our Wednesday, we're going to see them increase once again into this afternoon, 20 to 25 miles an hour, and I think our daytime high here in Corpus Christi coming close to 88 degrees, with a few neighbors inland even hitting that 90-degree mark. Here's how our traffic is flowing right now. Good and green there on the new Harbor Bridge to and from Portland so far. And for our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, not tracking any of those major slowdowns either. Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga all coming in the clear, so setting up for a good and green Wednesday morning, but still maybe worth keeping that jacket handy for the 50s and 60s out there.
Good to know, Stephen. Thank you so much. So Corpus Christi is one step closer to having its own seawater desalination plant. City Council approved a resolution authorizing contract negotiations for the Inner Harbor Seawater Desal Plant. Now, the city will negotiate with Corpus Christi Desal Partners, a joint venture between Acciona Agua Corporation and Mastech Industrial Corporation. City staff will now develop the design-build contract for Council's consideration in April. Nicholas Winkleman Coleman, Chief Operating Officer of Corpus Christi Water, calls it a significant step forward in securing long-term, reliable water supply for its customers. The city has already approved permits, property agreements, power infrastructure, and low-interest loans in place for the future project. And City Council also approved the groundwater rights purchase for the Lee Ranch property. The $38 million purchase is part of the Evangeline Groundwater Project. The ranch is located north of Sinton.
Corpus Christi City Council also approved a construction contract for upgrades over the Greenwood Sports Complex. Barcom Construction will handle the $7.1 million project, which aims to rejuvenate 3 sports fields. Those include the West Side Pony Baseball Field, Universal League Youth baseball field, and the Sparkling City Youth softball field. The project is funded through voter-approved bonds from 2018 through 2024. Construction starts next month and is expected to wrap up by August. Well, there may soon be some changes coming to North Beach. City awarded a $6.5 million grant for the North Beach Renourishment Project. It would cover 3,500 linear feet of beach from Surfside Park to the USS Lexington and between 75 and 85,000 cubic yards of beach quality sand. The finalized development is expected in the next 30 days before going to City Council for approval in the spring.
Snoopy's on Sunset Island is set to reopen today, days after a fire damaged multiple boats at the marina. According to their Facebook page, it will be the only spot on Sunset Island open while the fire investigation continues. No injuries were reported in Monday's fire. Officials are asking visitors to respect roped-off areas and stay out of restricted zones while the investigation wraps up.
On Padre Island, one woman is taking Barefoot Mardi Gras to the next level. I met Kim Irwin at a Fat Tuesday celebration and quickly learned her love for Mardi Gras is more than just a hobby. She says she owns more than 150 costumes and dozens of colorful wigs, each one covered in feathers, sequins, and beads. Some of her show-stopping pieces are even shipped from overseas, taking up to a year to arrive. She says it can take hours to layer the corsets and style each look, all for one big parade day. With Barefoot Mardi Gras this weekend, she's ready to hit the beach in full glam and says on Padre Island, it's sand, sun, and a lot of sequins.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jana. Hey, just a reminder, Padre Island beaches will be packed this weekend for Barefoot Mardi Gras. For a complete list of events, head on over to our website. That's KrisTV.com.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our studio Skycam, you can see the Harbor Bridge and downtown in view. Get just a few more minutes to our sunrise, about 15 more minutes here, and going to see that temperature start to come back up, but really not too bad right now as we're waking up to 62 degrees here in Corpus Christi and really 50s and 60s across the entire area. 58 degrees out to the west in San Diego, 58 also for Mathis this morning, but 60 on the money there in Kingsville and Robstown, with 66 degrees in Port Aransas for our warm spot so far this Wednesday. As we're taking a closer look with our Chris 6 neighborhood weather network, starting off there on the south side, sitting at 62 degrees for Bent Trail Drive, San Benito Drive coming in about 64 degrees, so the warm spot over there. As we're working over towards Portland, also seeing those mid 60s, about 64 to 65 degrees from all of our reporting stations over in Portland this morning. As we're getting ready for our school day forecast, though, only a couple more degrees, if any, to go for that morning low. The lower 60s as we're heading to that 7 a.m. drop-off, but the mid-80s as we're heading in towards 3 p.m. this afternoon. Even about 88 degrees, I think, here in Corpus Christi for that daytime high, and we will notice another breezy afternoon on the way. We're going to see winds out of the south 20 to 25 miles an hour, but gusting even higher than that. Daytime highs, though, one thing to note is we could see the 90s make their return as we're heading into today, mainly for our inland communities, Robstown, Kingsville, and then further to the west, could see those lower 90s today. But as you work closer to the coast, Port Aransas and Aransas Pass might only top out in those lower 80s for some of those daytime highs. So pretty big variation in temperatures, but pretty good wind as we're going into the day. Along the coast, they're going to be 30 to 35 miles an hour for those peak wind gusts here in Corpus Christi. A little bit lighter as you work your way inland, but nonetheless still going to be a pretty breezy afternoon as we're heading into it. This is going to lead to that wind advisory in effect for our coastal communities from 9 a.m. through 6 p.m. today. Some of our gusts could get as high as 40 miles an hour out there, so if you're going to be driving around, definitely going to notice it today, and could even bring down some small branches out there, so just be mindful of that as we're heading out today. And when you combine this with the relative humidity values on the decline as we go into today, going to see that fire danger on the increase, unfortunately, as we head into today and for tomorrow. So if you don't have to do any outdoor burning, definitely don't do it. And like Brian mentioned, we do still have that burn ban in effect here, so not even allowed right now. But either way, going to see some warm temperatures as we're heading into tomorrow. Our 7-day forecast right now is shaping up dry, and those soils are dry, so anything can just ignite and spread quickly with the winds today. Either way, as we're heading into tomorrow, 93 degrees back on the board for us here in Corpus Christi, which will be record-breaking if we hit it. Our current record stands at 89 degrees, so we'll see if we do beat it. Either way, by tomorrow night, our cold front works into the area, brings us back to the lower 80s as we're getting ready to close out February there on Saturday. Overnight lows don't take too much of a hit, though. They settle out in those mid-60s as we get ready to welcome in March on Sunday.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
I'll start off this list. President Trump delivered the longest State of the Union on record on Tuesday night. Speaking for 1 hour and 48 minutes, Trump called his first year back in office a, quote, turnaround for the ages. He pointed to immigration enforcement, economic gains, and expanded tariffs as signs of progress. Speech drew frequent applauses from the Republicans. Meanwhile, Democratic lawmakers shouted objections during sections on immigration, and especially on government fraud.
The Supreme Court convenes today just days after justices ruled against President Trump's tariff policy. New opinions could be announced. Justices will also hear arguments on whether tax foreclosure practices are constitutional.
So Richard Kahn, that's the man who handled Jeffrey Epstein's finances and co-executed his will. He's due to be deposed by the House Oversight Committee today. Kahn appears multiple times in DOJ files and handled everything from Epstein's car payments to home upgrades. He was subpoenaed last month along with other Epstein Inner Circle members like Les Wexner and Darren Indyke.
The U.S. is sending a dozen stealth F-22 fighter jets to Israel as tensions with Iran escalate. The move adds to a military buildup in the region, the largest since the start of the Iraq War in 2003. President Trump has threatened to attack Iran if a deal on its nuclear program isn't reached.
So the family of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie is offering $1 million for any information on her missing mother. Guthrie announced the reward on Instagram Tuesday, more than 3 weeks after her 84-year-old mother vanished. While Guthrie has held out hope, she acknowledged that her mother may be gone. The announcement comes as new questions surround video of a masked man seen at Guthrie's doorstep on the night of the disappearance. A source says that video was taken on 2 different days, but the Pima County Sheriff calls that purely speculative.
If you drive through Robstown, you might want to plan ahead because the right lane of State Highway 44 between Nueces County Road 67 and 69 will be closed today for pavement work. The closure runs through Friday morning, and the left lane and all westbound lanes remain open. Expect brief delays and reduced speeds in the work zone.
So if you love that new car smell, there's nothing quite like it, right? But right now it comes with a pretty hefty price tag of nearly $50,000. Rather than trading in your current vehicle, Scripps News Group's consumer reporter John Matarese has the high-impact fixes that add a couple of years to your current car, so you don't waste your money.
In this market, a new car can cost as much as the down payment on a house. So some drivers are realizing the smartest investment right now might not be a new set of keys, but rather maintenance and upkeep to keep your current ride running longer.
Admit it, you probably don't get your car's oil changed as often as you should.
Maybe once, twice a year?
About every 15,000 miles.
How about changing the transmission fluid?
Nope.
No. Well, it's easy to postpone recommended maintenance on your car, truck, or SUV. It's also a bad idea.
Fluid maintenance is the best thing you can do for your vehicle. Oil changes, transmission fluid, driveline changes.
If you want your car to reach 100,000 miles, certified mechanic Matt Overbeck says 10 to 15,000 mile service intervals are too long.
If you're planning on keeping the vehicle long term, shortening those intervals is always a good idea.
Drag your feet too much.
We've pulled the engine, removed the engine from the vehicle.
And you could be looking at an engine rebuild or replacement.
It is not uncommon to see engine replacements run in excess of $15,000.
Other upgrades to extend the life of your car, replacing the spark plugs, brake pads, and tires, according to Doc Watson with Bosch Automotive Aftermarket.
Tire companies would say 10 to 12 years is maximum, even if they look brand new.
At the very least, he says, check your tire pressure.
Underinflated, you're going to use more gasoline, and it's hard on the tire, and it causes them to rupture prematurely.
Budgeting for smaller repairs now can help you avoid new car prices later.
Oil change is by far the cheapest thing you're going to do for your vehicle, and it's the most important.
That way you don't waste your money. John Matteries, Scripps News Group.
Police in Thailand took undercover work to a whole new level. Officers dressed in an elaborate lion costume, complete with a hidden camera inside, to catch a suspected serial thief. The sting went down at a Lunar New Year street fair. Police had surveilled the suspect for weeks before pulling off the elaborate bust. The costume cops went from dancing in the streets to taking down the suspect. We got to give them kudos too, because I mean, it's not only a challenge to do law enforcement, but to do it in that kind of costume. Have you guys seen the POVs on TikTok of lion dancers?
Oh, she was getting into that, yeah.
Oh, I have not actually.
It's crazy. It looks very physical and intense. So if they did some good moves over there,
I'm kind of wondering if they had to have like maybe a week or maybe a couple days worth of training inside that lion costume
to make it look legit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I would take that job in a heartbeat.
Ooh, that does sound pretty fun, but I don't know. It seems being inside the costume, I just imagine it get in the way a little bit, but who knows? I'm just the meteorologist, focusing on the weather here, and we are looking pretty nice as we're heading in through the final week of meteorological winter and almost out of February now. We're getting ready for March here on Sunday already, but first let's start off with our Wednesday morning. Here's live view from our studio Skycam. Just a couple of minutes to go until that official sunrise, but getting some good glimpses of it out there. Sitting at 61 here in Corpus Christi, some 50s as you start to work your way inland. Sitting at 58 for San Diego and Mathis this morning, with 57 degrees out there in Freer and Hebbronville. But as you work your way along the coast, Port Aransas waking up to 66 degrees, waking up to about 65 in Rockport so far. As we're taking a closer look with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network, starting off on the south side. 64 degrees is what you're waking up to over there on San Benito Drive. 62 for Bent Trail Drive, and Windwillow Drive coming in about 63 degrees. So not a huge variation in terms of temperatures, but Portland also sitting pretty similar so far this morning. 64 and 65 degrees from all of our reporting stations from Portland. As we're planning out the next few hours with our dog walking forecast, today we've got Otis Summers on the board, ready for his walk over there by Cole Park, it looks like. Maybe excited about the opening of Bob Hall Pier also, but either way, those temperatures not going to be too bad as we head through the next few hours. Up to 70 by 9 a.m. and up to 80 degrees as we're heading out for lunchtime by noon. We are going to notice those winds picking up already by the mid-morning and late morning hours. 20 to 25 miles an hour out of the south is what we're going to be with the sustained winds out there, but wind gusts going to get even higher, upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour now. That's going to be on and off throughout the day pretty much for us. Pretty similar to what we saw yesterday out there. And whenever we have winds this high, that's going to result in a little bit of a wind advisory for us. But first, let's look at that daytime high. Chasing about 88 degrees here in Corpus Christi for our daytime high under a windy and sunny afternoon. Only those 60s for overnight lows. It looks like once again about 63 here in Corpus Christi before tomorrow. The 90s make their return, 93 degrees, which if we do hit it will be a new record. Our current record 89 from 2024. So we'll see which one wins out. Either way, gonna have that wind advisory in effect from 9 a.m. through 6 p.m. today. This is for all of our coastal communities, and gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour. Gets a little bit lighter as you work your way inland, but still gonna be pretty breezy as we head through our Wednesday. This is gonna mean loose objects blowing around, and definitely gonna notice it as you're driving around on some of the highways out there, but also fire danger on the rise. Moderate fire danger today across the board, but by tomorrow, with the temperatures on the rise even more, we see the return of that high fire danger. So if you don't have to do any outdoor burning, definitely don't do it. Anything that does ignite can spread very quickly with the winds that we're going to be having today. As we're looking at our 7-day forecast, that cold front that works in by tomorrow night puts us back into the lower 80s to close out February on Saturday. But as we're welcoming in March, just still holding on to those lower 80s and overnight lows in the 60s for us.
I can't believe we're entering spring already.
No, it's just right around the corner, at least meteorological spring here on Sunday.
Not too bad, not too bad. Other than the slight little gust, but that honestly, yesterday it cooled us down a little bit because it was, I don't know if you tell, a little bit rosy today, a little sunburned.
Yeah,
but
plenty of sunshine, so still sunscreen worthy, I'd say, as we head into today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you, folks at home, and we will see you later. Have a great day.